buttons are.
And we are live. Thank you all for watching. We might have another person join us, but this is episode 42, Make Art Imperfectly. I'm trying to do themes, so as my just loosely based theme for today's show. And there goes my video. Okay. Shush. So yeah, the reason for today's episode is I've been trying to do 2 a week of this show, and I realized yesterday's episode, because life took over everything. So I squeezed it into today, which is kind of, maybe I should have set it up for next week, but it is what it is. We'll get a midday audience here. So, we lost Mike. Come back if you can, Mike.
Back, Mike, come back.
Let's see. Let me keep it there. Okay. Yeah, so today we got DD and Eric, and Mike has returned.
Welcome back, Mike.
Yeah, I had a phone call. I'm on my phone.
So let's just do brief introductions. So we have DD with us.
Hello.
Want to tell people quickly where they can find you?
You can find me, Dee Dee Willingham, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google+, Ustream.
Almost all the popular places.
Yeah, Inky Well, most places, but you can find me, Dee Dee Willingham. I'm all signed up with my real name, so yeah, everywhere.
Cool. Excellent. And we have Eric.
Hello.
Hello. Everybody knows where to find you, right?
Pretty much. I've been on here. How many of these have I been to?
Quite a few.
Yeah, you can pretty much find me just by looking up my name, Eric Fares. I got a Facebook fan page. I got a Tumblr. I have YouTube, which is my main thing. So I'm out there.
Awesome. We have Mike. Your mic is off. If you're with us, there you go.
All right. I am Mike Sykes. You can find me pretty much everywhere as the Art of Michael Sykes. I tried to get everything under one name because I had 5 different things, which wasn't working.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I changed up my Instagram. Even though I sort of it was whatever it was, Peter Palmiotti Art, or Art of Peter Palmiotti, or something like that. I just made it Peter Palmiotti, so you can find me on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, all under my full name. All one word. Makes it easier for people to find me. Peter Palmiotti or something like that.
Somebody's got the stream on.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, Scott's in the chat. Hey, Scott. You should come on if you have a moment. So, yeah, it's as most people are aware by now, but if you still aren't, recently broke up with my girlfriend, fiance, and I'm going to be moving out of here. Her mom is actually going to be moving in with her, which is a good thing because it's something we were attempting to do anyway. Because my mom's getting old and health concerns and whatnot. So that would be awesome that they're under the same roof. But me and Lisa will still be great friends, and we'll still be hanging out I'm moving just outside of town. I'm going to be living at a pet sanctuary with a couple that run it, and working there sort of like part-time, helping them out, doing everything they do, and doing my art and comics full-time once I get settled in there. For right now, I'm just concerned about immediate deadlines. I'm sort of, with all that's going on, sort of a little bit of a funk. But I'm in a pause the whole thing, and it's probably a good thing, because I think I just need to change the scenery a little bit at this point. And so yeah, that's my mini review of what's been going on. Everybody's so quiet.
Just listening to you, Peter, like review.
Oh, Scott said his day job. As you see people talking in the chat. What I do is, like, if there's actually a chat going on, I copy and paste it and put it into the video afterwards as a comment, so people can read it afterwards. So that's actually, since YouTube doesn't save the live chat, which is, it is what it is, but it will be there for viewing afterwards if we on what they're discussing in there.
Let me see if my friend Carrie's over there. She was there earlier.
And Gaz is in the chat, and DC,
Yeah.
DD is a little quiet.
I see. I hear you, Gas. Well, I don't want to, it's Peter's show. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Scott. You guys. Yeah, I watch all of them.
So let's see. I actually saw an old movie called Wreck-It Ralph. I saw it just the other day. It's like
games.
Yeah, it's like watching a video game. It's very strange, but I actually get turned off of movies because of trailers more than I used to. I guess we lost Mike again. Might be having another call.
Phone call, yeah.
But like trailers are tricky. Like some can really like get you amped up to watch a movie, and some can just like make a great movie look bad. And I think the trailer I saw for Wreck-It Ralph was like, it looks okay. But I watched it the other night, and I really liked it a lot. It was so well done. I forget who was was it Disney, I guess, that did it, but it was definitely enjoyable, and I saw that they're going to do a sequel, which sequels with animated movies, they're okay, but not as good as the original in most cases. But I wanted to mention, what is it? There's a Douglas Adams book. Douglas Adams is known for, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he's got another book called Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and that was recently made into a TV series. It might be 2 seasons long. I'm not sure it's going to run, but it's on BBC America if you have that. But it is phenomenal. It's like like the first episode is so much going on, and it's such a weird premise and just show that it sort of hurts your brain, but it is hilarious. Douglas Adams is frankly the funniest author I've ever read. Like, I've read tons of novels, and I just like laughing out loud, kind of, which I've never experienced reading any other books. Although, mostly I read sci-fi and horror, I guess, mostly. But I highly recommend it. Don't know the main actor, but the sort of the second actor is what's his name? I'll have to look it up. It's the guy from Lord of the Rings, Elijah Wood, who's awesome in it. He plays a bellhop. It's such a weird show, and it's like, just go in blind and watch it. I highly it. So what are you guys into? Anything? I mean, Dee Dee, that piece you're doing is for a show, you said.
Yeah, for Oak Island. I already did. Here's the other. The two brothers that I did from Oak Island. And they said they liked it, and they wanted me to do the other main guy, the other, I guess, I don't want to say supporter, the other backer of, the ones that, pay for the show, pay for Oak Island to be a show. And he's the other main guy, I guess you could say. And so they wanted me to do him too, because I'd did the brothers. So that's what I'm working on now. But I do a lot of art for different TV shows. Like I'm sure most of y'all know what Gold Rush is. Maybe
Right.
Peter doesn't.
I've heard it.
Because Peter's watching all that science fiction. But anyway, so I've drawn all the characters for Gold Rush, and for their Facebook page, and for just because I love the show. I don't just do fan art because just for the fun of it. I do it because I'm a fan, right? So yeah, like I know Peter's a big what do you call it? Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Dead guy. Yeah, and let's see. I have some. You might have seen them. I probably posted them on Facebook, Peter. You might have seen here. Oh, here we go. I've only done two from Walking Dead. Done Glenn.
Awesome.
And Daryl. Those are the only two I've done. Everybody wants me to, keep doing more of them, but those are the only two that I've really done. So I don't really have a lot of time. And but and then I do like portraits is what I do, mostly. I do other things too. I have a Ustream show that I do like twice a week. So I usually stream like 6 to 8 hours a week, live show. So I do that. But since Gaz is here, wait a minute, let me see. Let me find my stack here. I do occasionally. I probably should draw you, Peter, sometime. Here's Gaz.
Aww.
there's my drawing of Gaz. Yeah. Uh-oh, did I miss? Is that me or?
That's Greg joined us, and
okay.
he might have his video going or something. Figure that out, Greg. And I just muted you.
But I like to draw YouTube artists to kind of support them, and so, like here's Gaz, and like here's Will Troll.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this is one of my other friends. That's Mistel. Let's see. Here's Bailey J. So anyway, I like to. I'll draw occasionally. Some YouTubers, and then I'll do like there's Doc.
Nice.
Let's see what else do I have here? Oh, here's Spock.
Yep.
Yeah, so I do a little bit of everything.
Cool.
So, yes, I do take commissions. I'll throw that in there, Peter.
By all means. Speaking of Gaz, he has joined us.
Hey, Gaz. Actually, Gaz is one of my favorite streamers. I mean, favorite YouTubers. Vloggers, there's the word, vloggers. He's one of my favorite vloggers. I love watching Gaz. He makes you happy to watch him.
Oh, stop.
Stop inflating his ego.
Where's my wait, where is it? Here you go. We love you, Gaz.
I joined at the wrong time.
Or maybe the right time. Who knows?
He is. He's awesome, though. If y'all don't watch Gaz's vlogs, which, by the way, I think it's been 3 weeks now, mister. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Since he's put out a video.
Yes, you're very kind, and I am unworthy.
Getting on you, though, man. You guys got to get on the recording, man.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Your fans await.
A while back, I talked about idea debt with like story ideas and art projects and stuff, and I feel like I've fallen into that with videos. Because it's not like I haven't been recording. I have videos from Stan Lee's convention. I have videos from Disney. I have videos from my daily stuff, and I just haven't sat down and edited them and turned them into something is what's happening because I've been concentrating on trying to get art done instead of videos, but they'll be out soon.
Okay. Just know that we're out here waiting for them.
That's very kind.
There's a YouTuber, Casey... I'm going to mispronounce it, Nesbet or Nesdet or something. He's a video guy from New York who sort of did some videos years ago with his brothers for HBO. Had a series, and he's a YouTuber now. And for I think was 18 months, he was doing a daily vlog. And he's very creative, and millions of people are subscribed to him and are watching each video. Each video gets like 2 million, 6 million views, depending. Stopped it because he sort of ran out of juice. But also something else that happened was that, he started like a sort of a media company that was bought by CNN. So that played into it a little bit as well. Even though he says, he just ran out of juice. But, yeah. But yeah, it's like, I'm watching tons of YouTubers. It's like you can really get into a groove where you're jamming them out, but it just hits at different places for different people. Like you just need to step away sometimes, and fans don't like that. But it's you just gotta.
Well,
breathe.
Go. Sorry.
Why did I join? Everyone's just harassing me.
We love you guys.
No, I appreciate it. It's very kind of you guys. And joking aside, I do have the, oh my gosh, I got to get a video out because I know it's been a few weeks, and I try to do one every 2 weeks. And if it's been 3 or 4 weeks, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm a failure. But so in the next week or so, I'll have something up.
All right.
Cool. You heard it here.
Don't let your fans down, man.
Let's not use the word fans. That sounds weird.
But I mean,
Well, we'd
really,
rather have fanatics.
There are people that you watch. I mean, I do. I'm sure y'all do too. Have people that you watch, all the time. And Gaz, is just one of those people that. And I mean, I watch Peter. I watch all of y'all, but Gaz is one that as soon as I see a video up, I watch him because he just makes me in a good mood. And I don't want to put pressure on him to make him feel like he always has to have happy, upbeat things, but they always somehow are, and they just, I don't know.
God, now the pressure's been brought, man.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Isn't this Peter's show?
I watch Peter's shows. I watch all of Peter's recordings too.
We're all here to just, have a conversation and then talk about art or anything related or,
Yeah.
Hey, see, we're going to talk about movies now, So.
Real talk.
Sorry, Peter. Calling you out.
But Dee Dee's right. I mean, it's like you're always creative. You're always goofy in a good way, and it's just you go away feeling good, which is it's tough to pull off. And, I watch a lot of videos, and more than all, like a lot of them are just downright serious, and it's like, well, that's information I can use or not or whatever, but
whereas I'm not informative, but I am entertaining.
Point.
Yeah, we don't learn anything from you, but you make us laugh.
No, you do, but that's not
it.
true though. All you guys, a little bit here and there. I'm not a comic person. I mean, I don't draw or I'm not into comics, but I love all kinds of art, every kind of art. So I appreciate the art of it. And anytime you guys that do comics have tips and little things you talk about art, it all goes together.
Right, I agree with that. I don't paint at all, but I'll watch painting videos or like the kind of color stuff you do, and you could pick up tips that you could apply to your own medium.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. And then if you have a bonus of someone that's just enjoyable to watch, and you just go away feeling, I'm glad I watched him, then it's all the more, and
Absolutely.
I mentioned Kevin Cross is back doing his D100s 100
Yeah.
days and making comics.
I didn't think he'd ever do one again.
Yeah, he said he wasn't, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he's doing it
us all back into another round.
He's definitely doing it with reason behind it, and he's going back to Portland, trying to make a go out of the freelance artist, comic book artist thing, doing his own creation, Monkey Mod.
Mm-hmm.
Today's episode that he posted not too long ago had
Has
Will
he made it back to
Terrell.
Portland yet?
No, he's still he's still in LA, but this morning he posted on his Facebook page that he's on the road, so he's headed there. But yeah, Will Terrell was on his video, and I haven't seen him in ages, really.
Will did a what company was that? I'm looking around.
Strathmore.
Yeah, Strathmore. He did a Strathmore series. That was awesome.
But
he's
like
another one that you watch. He just makes you feel good.
Oh yeah.
His laugh and his smile, and he's just
I also like how business minded he is. He's real nuts and bolts and very frank with all the details, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's he's pretty incredible, and I really miss him. Probably at the moment most of all, besides Gaz, of course.
Stop. I'm not going to do any videos anymore if this keeps up.
No.
You just say thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, fans.
I'm not so.
Peter.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, guys.
It's your show, dude.
Go right ahead.
I was just gonna protest some more. So switch subjects. Go for it.
Okay. I was
Change the
wondering.
subject,
Oh,
man.
let's see. Hey, Peter. Okay, if I unmute, yes, go right ahead, Greg. Nicely done, sir.
Poor Greg, feeling like a second-class citizen.
Nope, his mic's still on.
Oh, you got some gerbils in your line or something.
It sounds like in a movie where they think they found a transmission from aliens, but it's just like, and then they run it through a filter, and they're like, "It's a series of numbers. They're all primes. This is proof."
Pretty much.
There you go. But what can it mean? I think they want us to construct something. It's the recipe for a superconductor using ceramics.
Okay, I gotta say this real quick. I gotta say this. You know, Gaz, you just reminded me of, because I just saw it. They're doing a Kickstarter, and it just reminded me of a Mystery Science 3000.
Okay, I'll take it. That's fine.
Yeah,
I got nervous.
Yeah.
She's like, oh God, what now?
I know. I love those guys. So I will take that. As
I know, and apparently he's got a Kickstarter going, and he's got unseen episodes that he wants to release.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I haven't gone over to the page or anything, but I just saw it on I don't know, Facebook or Twitter somewhere. I saw that. Yeah, he wants to be able to bring back his hidden unseen episodes.
Like pay for the rights to them or whatever.
Yeah. So.
Well, they do have a new Mystery Science Theater show.
Yeah, that I haven't seen yet. That has not Jonah Hill. Is it Jonah Hill? Who's the guy that's the host
I don't
now?
remember. Yeah.
He's like a younger comedian guy, but I can't remember his name. Jonah Ray?
Well,
Jonah
I
Ray.
guess it's the original guy that wrote them all. You know, that he's got.
Doing the Kickstarter. Yeah, well, they're
That's doing the
partnered with the new
Kickstarter,
show
yeah.
Peter's talking about, because I went to a thing where they
okay.
broadcast it in the theater, like those Fathom events things.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the older guys still do that type of thing, but they call it riff tracks. And they had a special thing where they had every member of the older shows and the cast of the new show all together. So they're all one big happy family.
Yeah, good. I would love it. I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah. We're having a Christmas Eve party here because most of like our family's on the East Coast. We did it last year with like a lot of friends and stuff, and we're having the party start at like 5. But if people come at 3, they could watch the Star Wars Holiday Special with the riff tracks, the guys making fun of it on top of it.
Well, Carrie was on an episode of Synergy, and I don't know what we were talking about, but we're going to watch a movie at some point. Mystery Science Theater thing to it.
Right.
Just for the fun of it.
Yeah, sure. That's why you should do everything for the fun of it, except for art. Art's not fun.
Art's serious.
Art is serious work.
My high school art teacher used to say good art is hard work, and I didn't believe her until I became a real artist. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yep. We
Well,
struggle with
your
so many things.
You can do for having fun.
Or what was that?
Who, Eric?
Either one he is.
We were kind of talking over each other.
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying, like, even when we have our work that we do for art, we still have like our just random shit that we do for fun with our either it being certain comics that we like to just doodle for our own personal means, or even in my case, I make music as well. Like that's my other form of art that I love to do.
Now, that's interesting you bring that up because I know Kevin did too. And I also, like, once I started making a living as an artist, like a visual artist, I started playing music more, and I got in a couple bands and that kind of stuff. And I still enjoy it, but a year or two ago when I was going to get real serious about comics, I pretty much stopped. I mean, I'll still pick up a guitar once in a while, but I stopped playing music with bands. I stopped writing songs because I found that like my creative energy was, I don't want to say wasted because that's not the right word, but being directed towards that instead of towards my visual stuff. So do you find it difficult to balance doing a different sort of creative activity versus what I assume is your primary creative activity?
I guess for me, it's weird because, okay, like the way my mood will affect which one I pull towards. If I'm in a better mood, I'm more artistically pulled towards drawing and comics. If I'm feeling down, I actually pull towards music. Music has always been my way of picking myself back up. So that allows me to not have that problem of saying, oh man, I'm wasting my time on music when I should be drawing. Well, if I'm not feeling, if my depression's just hit me hard, there's nothing I can draw. Like, it'll all come out garbage. I will immediately delete it or throw it away. Like, there's nothing I can do. But music is one of those things where I can pour out all those bad feelings into a song, and they're out. They're gone. I've gotten rid of all that negativity, and now I can go do the art.
I can somewhat relate to that in that I prefer to play music when I'm angry or frustrated or whatever as well. It's very cathartic. I agree. I guess the only difference is that I don't have. I have plenty of issues, but one of them does not happen to be depression. So I guess what I felt was I could force myself to draw when I didn't feel like it. You know what I mean? And so. I felt like, well, I'm putting all this energy into playing guitar, which feels good and whatever, but at the same time, I got some pages I should be working on, and I could force myself to do it. I just had to have the discipline to do it, and so I don't know. It's tough because
in that case, it is a bit of a weird balance between knowing that you need to get this other stuff done versus, man, that guitar's looking lonely over there.
Right.
I feel bad, man. When I look over that guitar and I know I haven't played it in a few days, I'm like, oh, no, come here. You need playing. Come here.
See, so you maybe, well, see, because I feel that way about art. If I haven't drawn in a day or two, I feel like, oh my God, what am I doing? But if I don't pick up my guitar for 2 weeks, I don't care. I don't think about it. So maybe you're more of a musician at heart that happens to now be doing, visual art, whereas, maybe musician is your, like, your
I guess
true
that
calling.
that actually does make sense now that I think about it. It's always been easier for me to go back to music than it is to get back in art. Like, I love art, I love drawing, I love creating, but that's the thing, I love creating.
Right.
So when I pick up my guitar, it just seems so much more natural to just all of a sudden I'll have a song in my head and I'm like, I gotta figure out how to play this because it's in my brain, it sounds awesome, I need to make it work. Right. And I'm with a band now, so it's like I have other musicians who I can say, my buddy George, who's the bassist, I'm like, George, come here. I need you to just come up with something that sounds good with this. And, our drummer Neil, he'll be like, something's got to work. There's something in my head. I need you to make it work. It's
right.
I seem to be pulled more towards music, I guess.
And maybe you, and I'm making wild assumptions here, so forgive me, but maybe you're the type of creative person that prefers to work with a group as opposed to solitary, and that's part of the appeal?
Yeah, actually, because even when I was doing like my 100 days and all, I found it so hard just trying to draw, like forcing myself to draw for that 30 minutes.
Right.
But when I came on here and was doing my 30 minutes here, it was just, I didn't have to think about it. I was just doing it, and it was fun.
Because you're distracted by the talking and everything else.
Yes, I'm interacting with people, which makes me feel better when I'm talking to people. And like a lot of people seem to be surprised when I say I battled depression. It's like, yeah, because I'm talking to someone. I'm not feeling bad when I'm talking to someone. The moment I'm all by myself, that's when it hits me. That's when that's when it hurts.
Because we get crack-a-lackin'.
Oh shit! Oh, the puns.
That's what I tell. That's what I tell everybody in our group. When you're with a whole bunch of people, it makes you sorry. I can resist. We motivate each other.
Yeah.
So it makes you get. It makes you get going. Because so when you're like here or with the group or. It motivates you to do more because you're there with a whole bunch of other people.
Like I would probably work amazing in like the old days when like you always hear those stories about the bullpen where like all the artists were drawing in like a fucking building together and they were all around each other. Like I would love that environment where I was sitting around with like 6 other artists. We're all working on something different. But there's that energy of creativity in the air,
I agree, and that to me that's the perfect scenario because I've realized this about myself in the last year or two that I'm kind of the opposite of you, where I like this community that we're all hanging out right now. But in terms of working on a project, I prefer as much as possible to do it myself, because I was sort of a jack of all trades, master of none for most of my life. And I sort of settled on art and comic arts, but you know, I've been in bands and I was an actor and I did improv and I did, you know, worked in studios doing animation and all this stuff that relied on other people that very often were not reliable. So I would put all this energy into projects that didn't get finished through fault, not my own kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I came to realize that I prefer, as long as it takes, as frustrating as it might get, if it's all on me, then I know it'll get done. But in that situation you're describing, the old bullpen style, I like that because there might be 10 or 20 other guys and girls around you working on other art, but they're not you're not waiting for them to be able to finish what you're working on. You're just inspired by them, but you're not dependent on them.
Right. It's the atmosphere of creativity rather than the atmosphere of, oh God, I have to wait on this guy to finish this piece so I can get to my part, and then someone else is waiting on me, so I have to like feel like I'm rushing to get it. And like, no, it's you're all working on a project.
Yes.
You just happen to be in the
It's
same
usually
room.
not your project. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right. True.
It's not your it's not your project. Everybody, you know, you're working on somebody else's, and that's the problem. One of the problems with, you know, the group dynamics that you're talking about with a whole bunch of, you know.
Well, but even that, I mean, that's certainly part of it. I agree. But I worked, I've worked at, I don't want to name names, but I've worked at studios doing animation, and we'll just leave it at that. And most of them, I was sort of mediocre in terms of my skill level. I wasn't the best. I wasn't the worst. You know, I was just like solid. And more often than not, I would become the one that was sort of running things de facto, because I was the only one that would do what I needed to do and notice other people weren't doing what they. And I didn't even necessarily, like I said, it wasn't my passion project. I was like, let's just get this thing done so we can move on to the next thing, or so that we don't have to, you know. And it was frustrating to me when people even above me wouldn't get things done. Yeah. And it's like, you know, we need your whatever to move on to the next phase, and you're not doing it. And it just, it really, I had a hard time disconnecting myself emotionally. And then when I do, then I don't care at all. You know what I mean? I kind of have I have 100% or 0. I can't kind of half, you know.
Right. Which is why I think the bullpen idea actually works when it's not a bullpen of people working on the exact same project, because then you don't have that negative feeling of waiting for someone else, feeling like someone's not pulling their weight, that kind of crap.
Right.
Well, you know.
The aliens are back.
The gremlin has returned.
I'm sorry to laugh at you, but it sounds hilarious.
It does. It sounds like his voice is currently fixed through something,
What you can try is to turn your mic, in your settings, turn it off and back on.
Or unplug the microphone.
Yeah, maybe try your other mic, or I don't know what it is. Oh God.
It's like if in the world of the chipmunks there were other chipmunks that
So
he's part of the Lollipop Guild.
There you
go. You know, I have worked however briefly in the Marvel bullpen.
Were you actually working in the building there?
I was actually working. Yeah, Greg dropped out. I was working in the bullpen, doing not what they do there. You know, it's mostly production, lettering, touch up, fix up. I was doing some inks because they needed them ASAP, and they asked me to work there.
Right.
So that was like, you know, I worked for the X-Men office back when, you know, they were doing 10 books, and it was just freaking insane. And they needed stuff, you know, turned over quickly. And
this was like the early to mid 90s you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, it's like I worked on regular X-Men, Cable, Gambit, Wolverine, what have you at the time.
So no major characters then?
No major, nothing you know. But it's like, you know, I'm not the speediest guy, but I've been up there so many times, and I've always showed my face and dropped off work as often as I could, so they knew I would be willing to. So they said, there's a table. Get to work.
Right.
There's a table. Get to work.
And maybe that's how it was back in the day, like in the 70s and 80s as well. And we were just romanticizing it based on, Stan's soapbox or something. But it does seem like there was sort of a golden age at some point where it was like magic to work there.
It was very golden.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying how it wasn't. I misunderstood.
Oh, no. It was. I mean, what I was specifically doing wasn't what was normally done there. So it was a unique experience. But I've worked at Valiant, where I worked 9 to 5, 5 days a week.
Right.
I was a background inker up there, and there were pencilers and inkers and colorists and letterers and the writers and the editors, and everybody. 98% of the staff was working in the office, and that it was a great experience. It was probably, it's like I've had diverse experiences with studios, and I'm the kind of guy that most part I like working within the studio, but there's some times where I just need to get out of that crowd and work solo. But it's like it is one of my ultimate goals to set up my own studio, working studio, and have other artists working around me, because there is that creative energy that happens, even if you're not talking to each other, even if you're not, like you were saying, working on the same project per se. I know myself, and I work best in an atmosphere where there are people busting their ass. If I'm surrounded by a bunch of people that are just lazy jerks, it affects my workflow.
Absolutely. I think that's true of most people. I think they say kind of hang around with people that inspire you, and they'll bring you up. I used to I have a lot of artist friends back east, not so much out here. I have all my cyber artist friends, but I used to, you kind of tend to, whether consciously or subconsciously, judge yourself against what other people around you are doing. And I don't even necessarily mean in terms of quality of art, but like I had friends that would put out less art than I would, that would sleep later in the day that I did, and I would compare myself to them and be like, well, I'm doing okay. They sleep till 4, I sleep till 2. They put out one thing a month, I put out one thing a week, and and I seemed like the hardworking, successful one amongst that group of lazy people. And they were good people, but you know what I mean? So it definitely behooves you to be the dumbest person in the room, for lack of a better term, the least hardworking, so that it brings you up instead of, feeling content that you're better than all the other people. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just gives you something to drive towards. It gives you something to feel like, hey, I need to pick up the pace. Hey, I need to be better because look at all these other assholes around me who are being way better than I am right now.
And they might be nice people too.
Oh yeah, I use that in a very affectionate way.
Well, nice has nothing to do with it, whether you're a hard worker or not.
Yeah.
But it's why I love online communities, because I work at home alone, and my feeding off of others' energy is based off of the people I know online. Really, just
sure.
We do that on this show. We do that, with the Artcast show. With I used to be heavily into everything Chris Oatley was doing, and he's got a whole huge community now. Name people left and right that sort of form these gatherings and just or just motivating artists, and it's just why I just soak it up on a daily basis, while I'm watching videos or trying to make my own videos or, trying to be involved in any way I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I blame Dee Dee, though.
Seems fair. Well, Dee Dee is
I do. I enjoy you guys watching. I mean, if I'm not, streaming myself and doing a show, I'm watching somebody stream while I'm working.
right.
And I sit, I'm in this room, 10 hours, however long it takes to whatever project I'm working on. I'm, sitting right here. So it can get, lonely if you don't, interact with people. But I find that I'm kind of like that in the sense that I don't want to say I like being by myself, but I do. I like being by myself,
Sure.
working, and but not by myself. Like you don't feel like you're by yourself when you're talking or watching another artist, or even if you're just watching them, you feel like you're just not by yourself. But I wouldn't want. I've had jobs where, like creative jobs, where you have to interact with people all day long, and it's like, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining sitting here.
Agreed. Yeah, you want to be alone but not lonely, and that's where the
right.
yeah.
Exactly.
You got to find that happy balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I like things like
exactly.
Hangout and all, because you're allowed to. You're
Yeah.
still technically alone because you're in your house alone, but you're still communicating with people. You're still watching other
Right,
people
right.
draw.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also agree with Peter that like I'd be working. I was gonna be working, but there's sort of if I feel like I'm on display right now, and if I stop drawing for too long, or if I'm not making progress, even though no one's gonna say anything, people could potentially be like, "What? You were on that Hangout, and then you just had a picture up that you didn't work on for 2 hours." So I feel like
guys, in your case, I mean, that's one of the things that impressed me. And I know it sounds like I'm a fanboy on Gaz, but but
No,
but anyway,
no, of course not.
But I always respect Gaz's work ethic. I mean, I don't know. You can tell even when you don't post for 2 weeks, you still know that. You still know that. I can just
Hey, digging that knife in, man.
yeah.
Well, but I mean, I know that you're, you just have a great work ethic, and it shows. And I respect. There's just certain artists that I respect more than others. I'm not naming names, guys, but but you know when they're working hard and they're really working at something, it's like, oh my gosh, this guy, I want to, support his Kickstarter. I want to, donate to his Patreon, because he's just working it.
Man, you got all these fans full, man. You just sitting there back there eating Cheetos, just listening to people. It's like, oh man, they got the wrong idea.
I'm eating Cheetos. That's good. But it's it's true. And there's just artists that I watch that I appreciate, and I'm more willing to support because I know I can tell. You can tell.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. There are plenty of people that I'll watch because I enjoy them. Yeah, some. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I feel uncomfortable saying I respect some people more than others. I understand, but
know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah, but
Yeah.
there are definitely people I watch because I like them more than I'm interested in their art, if that makes sense. And then there are people who I'm very invested in what they're creating, and
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And and like I said, I try to look for all the good things about each person that I watch. Other different people have different strengths and different reasons you watch them. And I'm probably over analyzing this because I'm a girl, but
or you're smart and thoughtful.
But you know what I mean? I mean, it's like, there's different reasons why you watch different ones. Some are more entertaining, some you learn more from. And so there's just different reasons why you watch different ones. And you always, I watch people, I don't know if I watch people and they talk about like, why does this one succeed? Why does that one, why does this channel take off? And why does this one? And, it's not that hard to figure out.
Well,
in my
also,
opinion.
I think it's
It's
a
not that
mistake
hard.
to analyze. I mean, that's a fine line because you want to be successful and you want to be what are successful people doing that I'm not, and kind of, in a business sort of way you want to look at it. But then there are some people that
Right,
are
right.
more
There's nothing wrong
complaining.
with that. Yeah, but
Right,
there's nothing wrong with analyzing it and all that. But at the
right.
same time, I think when I do watch the shows that, and I've done it, we all have done it, oh, why is this one doing, but,
Sure.
but it's really not that hard if you just look at the person that's doing whatever it is and try to look at what it is you like about them. Why are you watching them?
Right.
And most times you'll find it's not hard to figure out. If you can figure out why you're watching them, well, that's why everybody else is watching them too.
Like, yeah.
Now, and granted, like, I can't believe that Gaz isn't more popular than in his channel than he
you gotta
is.
stop. You gotta stop.
So, a lot of it, you do have to, have
I
people
appreciate it,
know
but it's
you're
so
there.
awkward for me.
But, I mean, people do have to know you're there. But once they know you're there, they're going to come back for something. Either you're teaching them something, you're making them feel good about the day, you're just, just something about your life is in entertaining, or you're just a likable person, or there's a reason people come and go, go to other channels.
Sure.
And if you just think about why do you go, then you can figure out why other people go, there.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help that YouTube has become a very finicky thing these days, especially with the way that it's changed a lot of the way people view, or basically they've changed how people find you these days, and which is annoying. But I understand why they made some of the changes. But it's just weird because you go to these channels, you find these channels, and you're like, wow, why aren't these guys more popular? And you're like, it's because they just aren't being seen. And unfortunately, YouTube does not help support that.
Yeah, I've had issues.
Go ahead, Gaz.
Oh, sorry. I've had issues with channels I subscribe to not notifying me when new videos are up, even though I'm a subscriber, which is like, I made the choice to know, and I'm not knowing, which is not good in my opinion.
And a lot of times they actually change it to where there's actually, like, when you look at a video, there's a little bell symbol, so you can actually change it so that you actually get actual, like, notifications up on the top of the YouTube channel. Like when you go to the YouTube, it'll like bang, hey, somebody made a video.
Right, but it used to do that just by subscribing. So then they added this extra step. It's like, why are you making it harder for me to see what I want to see? It's weird.
It's just it's getting stupid, and they keep making more and more changes that are just becoming more and more ridiculous. Like I actually need to read up on the new changes that they're about to make, because I hear they're making some new ones, and I need to go fucking read those, because YouTube is starting to get annoying.
So you could figure it out and tell the rest of us.
Yeah. I feel like the odd one here, though, because like you guys, even you haven't posted in 2 weeks, you still post art related videos mainly. Mm-hmm. Pete does his stuff. You all do art related. I haven't posted a drawing video since like August. Everything I posted since then has been product review of like art tools and stuff like that. That's all I've been doing.
Further proof that you're a musician first.
I did a review of multiple drawing tablets too. Like,
right.
I finally did a review of Clip Studio, because for freak's sake, it's the thing I use all the time. It's about freaking time I did a video on it. I'm working on a review right now for an Android tablet, the Galaxy Tab A, because I'm like, hey, it's nice, portable, it's light. Why don't I review something for artists who want to do things on the go?
And that kind of stuff gets a lot of views, I'm sure, too.
Oh, dude, yes.
Yeah.
My review
you're
of
showing
the newest...
teaching somebody something.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Teaching or not, you're showing people something that they want to know about. And that's just such a big thing. That's just such a big part of it. Everybody wants to do whatever, their own thing, and we all should. I'm not saying nobody should do their own thing. I don't mean that, but people come to channels for reasons.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but people do things for reasons.
Right?
Why are you here? Reasons. What are you doing in the fridge again? Reasons.
Well, it's like whenever.
Why do you have that body pillow? Reasons.
Whenever you do something, you usually It usually has to stand like a table. It usually has to have like many sort of legs, hence reasons for me to really be 110% involved. You know, so it's not just one thing that drives me anywhere. You know,
yeah,
so
it could be a lot of reasons, Peter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some reasons.
And that's
it's not just like,
and that's how like what I watch and what I interact with. You know, it's because of multiple reasons.
Right. But there's reasons. There are reasons, Peter.
I think we established that there's reasons.
Sorry, that's
That should be the new, like, on the top of your channel. There's reasons.
There's reasons.
I'm gonna make that a slogan for one of my characters, just because.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
No, but joking aside, you are correct, and a lot of the most popular artists, regardless of their skill level or their personality or their ability to, you know, be entertaining, have tutorials or how-tos or things like that, which, you know, and I found a lot of people that way that I then follow. You know, like, oh, how to do whatever, or what I learned from such and such, and then I just start watching the regular videos anyway. And even in my small little channel, I would say after, you know, a month, I'll have 100 views on average per my average video. But I have a few that are like, hey, here's some tips on how to sell your comic in stores, because I did that this month, and that'll have like 500. Or, hey, here's tips on exhibiting at a show beginning to end, and I'll have like 1,000 views. And all the ones that I name that way, and not to be clickbait, but they just happen to be, that's what they're about.
It just works. That's what somebody wants to look up. And I'm still amazed back, like my video of how to create a comic book, like making a page, which I still need to remake because it's an hour-long video back in 2012. That video still gets more views than any other video on my channel every month. It is stupefying.
Well, you know what? You mentioned that on, I don't remember whose hangout, if it was Peter's or you were on some hangout, and you mentioned that, and because you mentioned it, I haven't watched it yet, but it's in my to-watch list.
Please don't watch it.
Mentioned it.
Please don't watch it.
Because
I hate that video so much.
But you know what? It's because, you know, you said it, you talked about it, you know, you brought it up to people's attention, and now, you know, I'm gonna go watch it. I don't care if you don't like it.
Like as soon as I make a new version, I'm like so tempted to delete the old one because it's
you want to keep the views. It helps your channel.
Exactly. Keep the views.
But what you do is you put like a tag over the whole thing and say, this is the old video. Click here to go to the new one.
Like the moment I make a brand new version that's not an hour long of me going and just slowly drawing, I'm going to put a big tag saying, please watch the new version.
Yeah, absolutely do that, but leave it because it helps your channel.
Yeah, don't delete it. Yeah.
Because I already started making videos. I've mentioned Skillshare before. Like I still get money every month because of my 2 classes on there.
That's fantastic.
I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, you know what's fuck? I'm gonna go make Skillshare classes for the rest of my life because
for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Notice to, even though you just talked about it on somebody else's hangout, you know, it's like, oh, I thought, oh, you know, I didn't know he did Skillshare, and you know, just talking about your stuff. I think a lot of people don't like to talk about themselves, guys, but but you know, it brings, when you do talk about things, I don't ever look at it like, you know, oh, you talk about yourself, you're bragging. I don't ever look at artists that talk about themselves like that, because if you don't talk about yourself, ain't nobody else gonna talk about you either. You know what I mean?
True.
So, you know, that's how I look at it. It's not like
I agree, but again, it's sort of a fine line with that, the same way about trying to figure out why other people are successful, where sometimes it's productive and sometimes it's whining, and it's the same thing. If you're like, hey, here's the projects I'm working on, and I want you to be aware of them, versus, yo, I'm the best. All other artists can step off of it.
And what's worse is I've seen those people, and they're annoying as hell.
Yeah, and usually they're not that great, is the weird thing.
They're not.
I guess maybe I haven't come across too many of those. I don't follow those, you know, I don't.
You see it a lot in the comic book pages. Somebody that's, you know, kind of okay, but brags like they're the best thing you've ever seen.
Well, see, you guys must hang around. You hang around in that different circle, because I don't see it. I see more people going, well, you know, I don't know why y'all are watching my channel because I'm no good. Well, yeah.
Sure.
I don't want to watch it now. I mean,
I've seen that too. Don't get me wrong, but there is something, and I think it is comic specific, where it's just sort of a braggadocio that some people have that I don't know why, and I don't know why either, because it's sort of like if you brag that you're the best and then you're not, you're
better be
right. If you're like I'm average good and then you do average good, people are like okay he's average, But if you say you're great, you average good, now you're terrible. So it's like why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah,
like you are setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, I would have thought you were okay if you didn't tell me you were great.
Yeah, really. Like it's one thing to be proud about one or two things that you're like actually good at.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
holy crap, man.
Well, and there's a difference between saying this is the best drawing of Wolverine I have ever done. That is a fine statement to make. To say this is the best drawing of Wolverine anyone's ever done.
Yeah.
Right. That's totally different. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you doing, Peter?
I'm just sketching. I can. Yeah.
Everyone's working on art, and I'm sitting here just trying to figure out how to record my damn tablet.
I really got to set up my other
webcam,
but I'm just doodling. It's make art imperfectly. That's imperfect art. I'm just.
I do that every day.
Hey Peter, are you caught up? I know you had a bunch of commissions and inking work and stuff. Are you still working on that stuff, or are you all caught up now?
Everything's a disaster. Let's put it that way.
Oh God!
You got a lot going on, Peter. You got so much going on.
Yeah,
everything's gone so horribly wrong.
It's not bad, but there's like a couple of deadlines I got to hit soon.
Right.
But I'm sort of breathing right now.
Right, because of life
and
stuff.
I'm gonna make the move and sort of play catch up afterwards. And
have you talked to your...
I kind of it would help to have money coming in.
Right.
Yeah, money's
so yeah, but it's like a lot of life happenings right now.
Dude, make a Skillshare class, then you have.
But I'll be catching up.
The people that you owe the things to, have you been in contact with them and they're all okay with it and everything?
Yeah. So,
cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Just one day at a time.
Yeah, it's like it's not what I planned, and it's kind of I guess I mentioned it early in the episode. I'm like a slight bit of a funk, because I'm not so on top of things. And now it's like
when something sidelines you like that, it's just like everything kind of goes. The fuck am I? What year is it?
I'm trying to figure out like the relocation stuff and whatnot.
Right. No, totally understandable. I guess I was just making sure you were having communication, because that's the main thing. As long as everyone knows what's going on and why you might be late, usually people are understanding, I've found.
I mean, right now there's a couple of things that are Christmas gifts, and by all means I have to get those out. So
oh right, it's December now.
Today.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to December, everybody.
Oh God, why? Oh, that means my birthday's gonna be coming up. Fuck me. Goddamn.
Oh.
I don't want to get older.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You're going to get old regardless. You might as well have a day where people are nice to you and maybe give you a present.
Hey, I take a month. I take a month.
The most that happens to me is I go to dinner.
Well, okay, but even...
It's going to be my birthday month.
Sure. But even if all you get is a free dinner, what I'm saying is you're going to get old whether you get that free dinner or not, so why not take it?
Exactly.
At least I'm going to a concert tomorrow, so that should be fun.
What are you going to say?
It's a concert. Like, we're going to see Red Fang, but there's going to be a couple bands there.
That like heavy metal?
Yeah. I actually didn't even know who they were. Like, my bassist, George, he's been getting me into a lot of different music that I've never heard before. And so he showed me this band, Red Fang. He's like, hey, up in Philly, they're playing in this nice little underground place, which is really cool. I actually saw what the place looked like. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like small places.
It is. It's like, at most, it could maybe fit like 600 people.
Oh, that's actually bigger than I even thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I can handle an indoor, smaller venue rather than big, open 1,000 people. Fuck that. But
Right.
yeah, they're kind of a good metal band. I am going to bring earplugs to protect my ears. But yeah, it's actually going to be the first concert I've ever gone to. So
Really?
I'm
Wow.
both excited and terrified. I don't do well with socializing with people. This is going to fucking drive me insane.
Even I've been to concerts.
Well, the good news is at a concert you don't have to talk much.
No, that's the social anxiety sucks. But hopefully, the loud music will, help me not think about the fact that there's tons of people around me.
Yeah.
I don't have a panic attack. You'll see a Facebook message. I'm at the hospital. I think my heart stopped.
If you have trouble breathing, look straight up and try to breathe. No, I'm being serious because I don't have anxiety, but I've been in like some mosh pits and stuff where I like literally was like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I found if I looked straight up, I got like, I don't know, cooler, less rancid air from the other people around me, and it helped, just sort of.
I will do whatever breathing techniques I need to keep myself calm. But it should be fun.
Give me air that nobody else is breathing.
Right.
Yeah.
I need a higher oxygen content. This is too much carbon dioxide here.
Bring one of those air
my
canisters
favorite-
that football players use.
One of my favorite music adventures was a friend of mine had a friend who was in a punk rock band. And so we all got invited, and it was like this subterranean, like below ground room, like really small room where they, is like just 2-player band and the lead singer.
Right.
So it was 3 people. But they were literally like just in the corner and everybody was surrounding them.
Yeah, I've played shows like that.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's like
intimate feeling there.
Like
Sorry, go ahead.
25 people other than the band in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like literally I was standing right in front of the lead singer while he was screaming out his vocals.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Every show my band ever played was like that, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like you said, like 20 people in a room together, basically.
I can't wait till the day me and my band get to that point. Oh my God, that's gonna be. Oh, that's gonna be even scary because then I have to look at all the people.
Well, you're not the singer, are you?
I am the singer and I'm the guitar player.
Oh, I was gonna say, really, only the singer has to deal with people. Like everyone else
I'm
can.
the singer and the guitar player. I have no fucking choice in the matter.
Do you thrive on negative energy as well as positive energy? Because that's something you should learn to do.
I don't know, because if things start to get too negative, I'll just do a fucking comedy routine for a moment and get people laughing.
That's fine. I would get if I saw people not interested or whatever, I would like sing louder and point to them.
Well, thankfully with metal music, you're already singing loud, so it works.
True.
Like, hey asshole, start jumping.
That might be too much. I mean, whatever works for you.
I don't know. I've never been on stage before. I have no idea what my stage personality will be.
Well, I will say this: expect your first show to be horrible.
I expect it to be horrible.
Yeah, because it will. Even if you're great, it's going to be horrible. It's unavoidable.
And
That's
make sure you film
that's why
it
I
so you
missed
put it on
that
YouTube.
this one place nearby.
Yes.
Down, man. That sucked because it was a nice small venue, kind of like what Pete was talking about. It was literally like a bar that had a freaking stage in the corner, and I'm like,
They had a stage.
yeah, it was like a little. It wasn't even. It was literally a step. Like that's all it was. Was a step.
That's more than you get sometimes, though.
And I went there and I never actually got to listen to any of the bands there, but I've seen it. I was like, oh, this is a nice little place, but then they freaking closed down. So I'm like, fuck. That would have been the perfect starting point. That would have been the best place to start.
That's like when first time I went to CBGB, and what I was expecting, but it wasn't what they have there, which is just like this little area where the band sets up.
Yeah, but again, at least it's a bit of a stage. Like there are a lot of venues that don't even have that. Yeah.
But it's all the ambiance that it creates by having that confined sort of space and just darkness and live band in your face.
Yeah,
it's just recommended for everybody.
I had gone to a couple, concerts when I was younger. Like I saw like Nine Inch Nails and David Bowie and the Cranberries and a lot of like big bands like that. And I enjoyed them, but it was like really just like having a really good stereo because they were so far away and you're sitting in a
Yeah.
seat. And then when I started going to like more local punk shows, regardless what you think of the music, it was a much more intimate, immediate, emotional thing where it's like, oh, I really feel like I'm here a part of something and I could really see the band and I'm really dancing with the people next to me or whatever the thing is that you enjoy about it. And half the time the band would then be sitting around and you could go talk to them like it's no big deal. And after doing that so much, like I went to see Rush like a year or two ago because I really like Rush, but I was like, oh my God, I forgot what a real concert is like. Because while I enjoyed the music, I'm like, I had good seats and I was still so far away, and
Yeah.
it's hard to go back to that.
Yeah. I saw Billy Joel and Elton John in Madison Square Garden. And we were like in the back seats.
Right.
And you just see them. I mean, you could look and see them and they're like, half an inch
Dots.
high.
Yeah.
If that. But you could watch it on the screen, but it's like,
I
I
find
do
myself
that at
watching
home.
the screen too. Yeah. I could have bought a Blu-ray of this and had a better experience for less money.
Yeah.
Quality would have been better.
It's like,
Yeah.
and I'm a huge Billy Joel fan. And it's like,
That's what I'm saying. And and I like Rush a lot. It wasn't like a casual thing. I spent a lot on those tickets, but then afterwards, I'm like,
Yeah. I didn't really have much say in the matter because my buddy George is just like, I bought you tickets. I'm like, well, fuck.
oh no, I'm not
I guess
saying
I'm going.
it's not impossible to have a good time. And you said it's only like 600 people. That's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not. It should be fun. I hope.
And obviously there are people who enjoy the bigger experience too. I'm not denigrating anyone that could get enjoyment out of it. I just, having had the more intimate experience, it's harder for me to enjoy that big arena stuff, even if I like the music.
Yeah, I think I would probably prefer the more smaller venue kind of thing where you can actually look out and see the end of the audience. The audience can see you, and you're not a tiny bug.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Any day out of the house is good. So
that's true.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were out. That was actually the reason I missed yesterday's stream because the whole band was at a fucking restaurant, just sitting there talking for like 5 hours. We just sat around and talked.
That's cool.
That's super fun, and that's part of the reason I can't be in a band anymore because it's just too much.
Most of what we're trying to figure out is practice space. Like that's the fucking hardest part. Is like none of us have the immediate practice space.
Right.
So we're trying to figure out how to make it work, and I'm the only one who has kind of the room to do it.
Oh,
and also my father. He's all for it. He's like, yeah, go ahead. I don't fucking care if you guys play music.
Oh,
but he doesn't care. He's like, go ahead. And I'm like, fuck, now I got to figure out how to make this room work.
Yeah, you don't have like a garage or a basement or something you could use.
We would have if my mom had let us, do that back when Dad first moved here. But no, she needed a new car.
That sounds like family politics to me.
Oh, you have no idea. We could have had the fucking space.
That's a nerve right there. It's like art, music, and my mother.
yeah. That always takes a little bit of a nerve there every now and then. My apologies.
It's fine.
But my dad actually had a really awesome idea of making a couch because right now that's the problem. The couch is there, nowhere to put drums. My dad had the really cool idea of literally getting rid of the couch and putting kind of like a couch bench system that literally can just go up and fold into the wall. I'm like, that's fucking cool. I want to do that. Except it slides up the wall. Like it'll be a track on the wall and it slides up the wall. So it's flat against the wall.
That seems awesome, but also a lot of work.
Not really. Me and my dad have done shit like that before.
All right, do it then.
Yeah, that's what we're like. We're trying to think.
You have my permission.
Like we're thinking of how much money it's going to cost. Like, we got to do all the measurements and get everything set up. But like, that's our plan. And if we can get that to work, I might be able to fit a very simple like 5-piece kit in the corner.
How many people are in your band?
Right now, it's just the 3 of us.
We're
thinking of maybe getting another guitar player just to have that other guitar player to help me out.
I'm assuming you do rhythm if you're singing, right?
Yeah, I'm a rhythm guitar player. That's
Yeah.
my forte is rhythms and riffs. I'm not I'm not that 50,000 note a second guitar solo guy. I can do blues licks and stuff like that, but I love coming up with rhythms and riffs and just hammering it in your ear.
Are you guys playing metal though, or?
Oh yeah.
So you definitely need a lead guitarist then.
And that's the thing. We're not just going to play just one style of metal, because we all love different genres. So we'll play heavy metal sometimes, power metal,
grunge
kind of metal, doom metal, progressive type metal, like Mastodon and stuff kind of music.
But to the uneducated ear, it'll be loud, heavy.
Heavy, a lot of growling.
Yeah.
Which I need to start getting my throat back used to doing that, because I tried doing that for a few songs and I was just like, oh, I haven't done that in forever.
There's a CD and a book I used to use when I was the singer, because it was killing my voice, called The Zen of Screaming. Have you heard of that?
I think I have, yeah.
It's like vocal warm-ups and stuff like that, but it's like, this is what the singer from Metallica would use and whatever. And it's kind of dopey, but like it has the exercises that you run through. And
to get yourself warmed up so that you're not destroying your voice the first time you
Yeah, it really helped a lot. I would listen to it on the way to the car every time I went to practice or a show, and it made a huge difference.
Oh yeah, like I do plan on picking up something, probably that book if I can find a good copy. But
Make sure it has the CD with it. Or I bet you if you go on YouTube, maybe somebody's put it up on YouTube.
Probably. So I'm gonna look on YouTube for that.
Yeah.
Probably. God, man,
that's a reason.
Ugh. That first time
that is a reason.
That is a reason.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. That should be the title of this episode. Reasons.
Reasons.
Reasons and why we have them. That sounds like a self-help.
Everything good does.
That could be a book.
I was never part of a band. I was, probably a roadie a little bit here and there with some friends' bands. I was actually.
Okay.
But I always like to sing. Question mark. It's what I do is just sing around the house most often than not. But I do want to incorporate that into videos at some point.
What, like singing about your art?
Well, no, there's always music. Like for the same reason you have your music as in the background, and I want to sort of do that.
Oh, and make like a theme song or something. Gotcha.
Not necessarily the theme song, but just to have it to enhance.
Speaking of which, I need to make a new one for my channel. Mine's getting old.
Because it's like I love just singing to myself, or or just like to Lisa, or just a small audience.
Sing to your cats.
My cats.
Definitely
my cats love it.
Oh yeah, they're a good audience.
Not the best at giving you a response, but at least they pay attention.
Actually, I do.
Hello, Star Commander.
She is the best worst. I love her to death, but she is so much more trouble than the other two. She's just been climbing our Christmas tree and knocking everything over and doing like kind of typical cat stuff.
It doesn't count unless we have video.
I put a picture of her in the tree the other day, but yeah. No, I love her to death, but she definitely is has that kitten energy still in a way I haven't seen the other cats do,
It'll never die, man. She's gonna be that. She's gonna be that cat.
That's fine.
I don't watch cat videos. I watch Gaz's because he's doing a show and his cat's part of occasionally the show.
They show up.
Have y'all seen the video, the cat video? And it's really the only. I always wondered, why do people like cat videos? I don't get it. I love cats. I've had cats all my life. I love cats. But why do people love cat videos? Until I saw the hey. Have y'all seen hey? Hey. No. Y'all gotta look that up. You can just look up cat that says hey. It's only 30 seconds long. You'll watch it 1,000 times. I tell you. You will watch it 1,000 times. I don't know what it is about that. And it's just just look up cat that says hey.
That was a great commercial. I felt like it was like an infomercial. Like, yeah, I'm that person. I don't like cat videos, but this cat video, you're gonna watch it 1,000 times. Hey, is your life been going the wrong way? What you've been needing is this hey cat video. Other people trying to watch a cat video. Hey, these aren't any good. You haven't seen the cat that says hey.
You'll see. Yeah, you're gonna get back to me and go, wow, you're right.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. No, I'm an easy sell. I like cat videos even when they're not good. So if it's good, I'll like it even more.
Oh, you'll like this one then.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've watched hundreds of hours of stupid cat videos.
See, I don't know. I don't get it. I just really never got it. I mean, I love cats. They're great. But I just didn't get it. But yeah, Pay got me.
You can't really see it. There's my monkey. I took a picture of her.
You gotta
she's
there she is.
so entertaining. I'm not sure. Like Taz is sleeping behind me right now.
Lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's older. He's earned it.
All right, he's allowed then.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, about filming around the farm, and you know they have like 35-40 cats, give or take. You know, cats come and go. I'll be filming then, I'm sure.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
You're my cat show.
it's pretty insane out there, and I don't know, wrap my head around like, am I actually going to live there with all that madness?
Aww.
Well, for a little while, you're definitely all right. I mean,
well, yeah. But I mean, you know, it's just like knowing it's a lot to handle. It's a lot to take in. Yeah. I'm still trying to learn, you know, a few of their names.
I don't think they'll be offended if you don't remember their names.
Yeah.
Feed them and pet them.
Herman, come here. And 3 others will come. You know?
Do you ever? This sounds like a non sequitur, but it'll make sense in a second. You guys ever see that movie Logan's Run?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I saw the original show in the original theater. I mean, when it was in first show.
Me too.
That's awesome. Well, I saw it on VHS, but I love the part. I mean, it's not about this at all, but they find that old human, and he's got 1 million cats. And I always think about how he talks about. He's like. He has like a little like speech about it, which I don't remember exactly, but he's like, every cat has 3 names. It has its regular name and its fancy name and the secret name that only the cat knows. And I always thought it had nothing to do with the rest of the movie, but for some reason it always tickled my fancy that there's 3 names for every cat.
That was such a good movie.
I liked it a lot.
They're supposedly making a new adaptation of it, but
I've been disappointed with a lot of the remakes they've done recently, though.
They are what they are. They're moneymakers.
Some of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, they all make something. They all have sort of a built-in audience. You know, even if they don't make it in the theater, they make it after with cable and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess that's sure. They don't necessarily lose money, but I guess they don't all make the money that the studio thinks they're going to make or wants.
Oh yeah,
sure. They kind of have a formula of like what they consider a successful movie, and that's at least doubling what they spent to make it.
Right. Like I'm a big Tron fan, and Tron Legacy came out, and I was pretty excited.
I haven't heard of Tron so long. From the original.
That I saw in the theater. I mean, I was a wee babe, but so when the new one came out, I was super excited, and I liked it. You know, it wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it. And they were supposed to have another one. Like they were talking about it as they were making it, but apparently Tron was considered Legacy was considered a failure, even though it made its money back and they like made a profit. Like because what you were saying that they have some formula where we made millions and millions of dollars, but we should have made 300 million or whatever number they had in mind, and when they should have
at least doubled their money. If not, it's a failure.
Exactly, and
which
so
was
I was
unfair.
Right. I was like, "Oh, cool! It made money. We're gonna get the 3rd one because it kind of is set up to have a 3rd one, but we're not gonna get it."
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. I mean, I love the original Tron, and I love the sequel, whatever you want to call it. As well as the cartoon was awesome too.
Same, and I like the cartoon, and that got canceled as well because I guess it wasn't selling enough toys or whatever metric they had. Because everybody I know was like, that show was amazing.
Yeah, it was quality.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean,
And
had Pee Wee Herman.
And it had that had Elijah Wood in it too. So speaking of Elijah Wood,
There
earlier.
you go.
Bringing it around.
Yeah.
Bring it around town.
But you know, I wasn't fortunate enough to see the original Tron in the theater. I guess I saw it on VHS. But I just loved that movie. It was so ahead of its time, talking sort of computer logic when people didn't really have personal computers.
Right. And that's kind of, I mean, it unfortunately that's why it probably didn't do well, because most people didn't like get what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
But it also
Yeah.
like in some ways it wouldn't, like, it doesn't really work today, like if a modern audience saw it, because it's so implausible, everything about it technologically, you know, like there's like, it's just so not even a little bit real that I could see, because but back then, like I remember I saw it as a kid and I didn't know. I'm like, oh, I guess you could do these sorts of things, and you know, maybe that's what a computer would look like, and you know, like people didn't know enough to know how wrong it was, you know.
Yeah.
Unlike Star Wars, which that's real.
Right.
Okay. We established that.
Why would you even bring that up? That was, come on. It's foolishness. Decades ago, that was settled. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, that really happened.
I was actually talking to Lisa. It's like eventually, you know, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but eventually it's going to match our timeline. And what's happening with that universe now in our present, you know, that's what I speculate on. Anyway.
I did not follow
That makes any sense?
What do you mean?
You know, it's like Star Wars happened in a galaxy a long time ago.
Right.
But if you went there in present time,
right,
what would be happening there? That's what I'm curious about.
Oh, so like if we got to the point where we could travel far enough to get to that galaxy,
right,
we'd see, you know, hundreds of years later, broken down remains of whatever the Republic or the Empire was, and you know, one really old Jedi.
Maybe it's a thriving society again, or whatever.
Sure.
You know, I'm curious about. Well, what if it's present time?
Right.
What if it's not long ago?
Well, that would be false advertising then, because they always say long ago. So I'd be pretty mad.
Well, I gotta cut out because I am starting to get sickly hungry, so I need to go eat some food. It was awesome talking to you guys.
All right, eat your food. Have a good one.
Bye.
Later, everybody.
See ya.
So, did you mention what that piece is for, guys?
Probably not. Here, I'll zoom out so you can see. It's a commission piece. It's funny because it's something I'm very into and something I'm not into at all. It's giant robots and beer. And as you know, I love beer and hate giant robots. No, it's the opposite.
That's nice. Okay, it's got so much detail.
Oh, thank you. I did the Stan Lee Comic-Con down in LA, and it was not a huge success. I didn't lose money, but I kind of just barely did a little bit better than breaking even. However, while I was there, somebody commissioned me to do this piece, so it kind of made it worthwhile because of this. And so it's not an official like advertisement piece, but the guy works for I guess Coors Light, whoever the parent company that is. So what it's going to be is it's going to be the Coors Light as a big robot and Miller Light as a big robot defeating Bud Light, which is the smashed robot on the bottom. So yeah,
Nice.
and he gave me pretty wide open creative freedom. I sent him a rough, he approved it, so I'm working on the inks and coloring now to do the final. And then yeah, it's just going to be a digital commission, but it's super, like highly detailed.
It
colored
is real details. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a sort of thing where, you know, I do commissions at shows, and I'll do a sketch commission, which is cheap and quick. And he's like, "Oh, I want something a little more detailed." And I thought, you know, like what? But he pointed to like my prints of like Godzilla and stuff, and I'm like, "Well, if you want that, that's going to be a lot more." And he's like, "Well, how much?" And I'm like, "Well, like this much." And he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, let's do it." Like, because I've had that conversation, and people are like, "Oh, that's more than I want to spend," but he's like, "Nope, that's what I want." So, yeah, that's what I'm working on now. I wanted to have it done by the end of the week, but I have. I'm doing a small art show at a video game store tomorrow, and then I'm doing a toy show Saturday. So probably I'll be finishing it up next week, unfortunately.
It's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you did how was the Stanley Comic Con? I mean, like, was it?
It was
videos of it,
It was not. I mean, for me personally, it was not great. It wasn't like the worst show I've ever been to or anything. Like, I did a couple like bad shows this year. Like this year, I've done more shows than I've ever done. I think it's like 13 or 14 at this point this year, and one or two of them, like Ape, and there was one in Merced, which were just like depressing. Where it wasn't like I had a bad show. It's like no one's showing up. Vendors are leaving early. It's just like a poorly run, poorly attended show that everyone's.
Oh yeah, like the one you had to hire someone to cart your stuff 5 feet.
You know what's funny is that that was a bummer, and it made me angry because it was so ridiculous. But I actually did really well at that show financially. It makes me angry because I was like, I don't want to ever go to the show again after that.
But you
stupidity.
made more money. So
I made more money there than I've ever made at a show. So I was like, I have to go back.
Well, on the Stan Lee one though, do you think it's just because it's just so big and there's just so many vendors?
No, because I've done shows that big. I did Silicon Valley, which was another show I did extremely well at, and it was a big show. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know how well other people were selling because I was kind of stuck at my table most of the time. But there seemed to be a lot of people there. It wasn't like there was no one walking around. And they had some celebrities and they had some events, and it seemed to be a fairly well-run thing. But I just wasn't making a lot of sales. And sometimes it's just luck. People just don't happen to be looking for what I'm doing that day, and, whatever, it happens. But I also think I split a table with my buddy, and I've split tables before, so that's, not a big deal. But I think I made a mistake in I had half a table, and normally behind me I have like all my prints set up, and then in front of me I'll have a book where you could look at the prints that aren't set up, and I'll have my comic and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I recently got the cutout of the horror, the like 6-7 foot cutout that I bring, and so I brought that and I put it behind me, and that took up most of the room I had behind me because the other half of the table was his stuff.
But so it looks so awesome. I mean, it's so professional, and that would seem to me to like draw everybody to your table.
I appreciate that, and that was my thought as well. But I've been using it at a bunch of shows, and it doesn't do what I thought it would do. Like. Very often people don't comment on it or seem to notice it at all. And then occasionally they'll come and they'll be looking at it and they'll be like, after they're at the table, they'll be like, did you do that? Or like, hey, I didn't notice that. Like somehow it's so big and so bright that people tune it out. Like
really?
It's crazy to me. Like I actually did a signing at my local comic shop of the comic. I was there specifically for the comic, and it was a good time. But I had set up the standee next to my table. Not one person commented on it, and I had it set up where I thought, people could take pictures with it if they want. Not one person took a picture with it.
Well, you know what you need to do, guys?
Yeah.
You need to do this. Look, let me get a little piece. You need to do this. You know how he's like in parts? You've had to tape him together in parts?
No, he's one piece. He folds.
Oh, folds. Okay. Well, what you need to do is like fold him down so that he's like right behind. Here's you sitting here in your chair.
I'm a caterpillar.
Like you're just sitting in your chair. He's like right behind you, like.
Right. I like. So he's the same height as me. You mean?
No, so that he's like almost like your chair. It's like part of your chair.
Oh, I mean, when I set it up, it's very similar to that, where he'll be behind me. So
but bring him down a level, so like his head's like he's right there, so you can't miss him. People aren't looking way up there at him. He's like right there. I'm not making any sense on that.
I think I know what you mean. I'm just not sure it would make a difference.
Okay. Because I'm thinking if it's like really focused at you're sitting there and he's like literally folded down a level and he's right there.
It could. I honestly, I'm not sure I'd be able to do that with the way it's constructed. I'd have to like modify it.
It's such an awesome piece. I mean, I can't believe that. It's like, I mean, isn't it just a awesome, yeah.
I mean, thank you, and I'm not like kicking myself like I did a bad job. I think I did a fine job, and I got a quality printed thing. I don't think I did anything wrong. I just think it's not the draw that I thought it would be.
You hoped it would be, yeah.
Right, yeah. And to the point where it's like I said, it's a weird blind spot where I did a show. I did actually the toy show I'm doing this weekend. I did a few months ago, and I split the table with somebody, and I had somebody come and interview me for some show. Oh, you're a local comic artist, Sure. And I answered a few questions, but what was weird was the people, and they had a nice camera, and it was like a 3-person crew, so it wasn't just somebody with an iPhone. And when they filmed it, like just naturally, wouldn't you stand me in front of the big billboard of the monster? But they
I
didn't.
would, yeah.
And I kind of stood in front of it, and they framed it so that if they turned the camera left, it would be me and the host and the billboard. But they had it a little bit to the right, so it's me and the host and a random assortment of people like buying things. And it's like, like how I don't understand. It was right there for you to use. It would make your show look better. Like,
yeah.
oh, but what I was saying is at the comic signing, I had the thing next to me, and nobody really commented on it. And then and I was actually right at the end, somebody was leaving, and they turned around like, "Whoa, that's cool," and I'm like, "Thank you." And they're like, "Wait, you did that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's the monster from the comic I'm selling right here." And they're like, "You drew that?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "That's awesome." I'm like, "Thanks." I'm like, what did you think it was? They're like, well, I just thought it was, in the shop. It was like a decoration. Because kind of, and like it was sort of a compliment because they were like, it looked so professional, that they just thought it was something that Marvel or DC had sent for the shop to put up, which is what I want. But it like kind of backfired that it looked so professional. A lot of people assume I didn't do it, which again, it's a compliment, but not helpful.
Right. Yeah.
It's almost like you have to put your name big on it, and this is my comic. I don't know.
And I thought about doing something like that, like putting the logo.
Your name, your logo.
Yeah, but and if I did another one, maybe I would. But originally I didn't want to, because I thought, like, I go to comic conventions and I take pictures with the statues and the standees and the cosplayers, and it's like, so I thought if I saw this, I'd want to take a picture where it looks like the monster's coming after me, and if it had the logo or my name, it would kind of kill the fun of the picture.
Effect. Yeah.
But apparently I don't think like everyone else does, because everyone else is just like, whatever, that's some monster, let's move on, if they see it at all.
But you could have another piece made with your logo, like,
hang it over it or something.
Well, or just, like, let's just say you had a big gas or whatever, your whole thing like this, and you could just have this piece like this, and maybe you could Velcro, have it like cut like that and Velcro like on his chest. It would be like
yeah, I mean, I clearly, maybe I will, and I clearly should have done something like that early on.
But you didn't know.
No, I thought I was doing the right thing, but I clearly, because one of the things that was discussed, I don't know if Q recommended it or who, but somebody, there was a thought at one point of having it be where there was like a little box or something where like he was holding the comic, like the monsters hold, like, and I'm like, that sounds cool. Yeah, and I'm like, that sounds cool, but who's gonna want to take a picture like that? Again, it kills the illusion. But clearly, I should have just done it, because nobody cares about the illusion. Nobody cares about taking a picture.
But you didn't know. Yeah, you didn't know.
Yeah, so you learn. But
but
what you should do is just cut his face out so people
and put their face in and get their picture made in it.
Right.
Like
I know, like at the boardwalk. Yeah. If it didn't cost so much to make, I would absolutely do that. It would break my heart to mess it up now.
That's true.
I mean, worst case scenario, he'll just live in my studio forever.
But it was awesome. I saw the unboxing, and when you did, that was really cool. You were so excited.
Yeah, I mean, I don't regret it. It's awesome. It's really a fun thing to have. But so as a fun piece of art that I own of something I made, I like it a lot. As an advertising aid, it's kind of failed me.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine like that's like, we make videos, we make art. It's not always what we think will get the most play.
Right. No, absolutely.
It's like, it's usually the last thing we think.
Yeah, actually, you're absolutely right. And going back to the video thing, my absolute most watched video is, and it's in the thousands, I forget the exact number. Like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I was at Comic-Con, and I took a quick I was at a Power Rangers panel, and they had a little like teaser video of, hey, here's what's going to be next season. And I kind of took a crappy video of it and just threw it up like, hey, look what they're going to have next season on Power Rangers. And that is my most watched video of all time. Still today. That season has already come out and been on TV. And it's still the most watched. And I'm like, what? I just threw that up for the heck of it for my friends that like Power Rangers. I never thought
it would. Like Power Rangers, that's probably like right up there in the key search. If
right, but I put up a video
and Power Rangers, they'll it comes up.
I agree, but I still don't quite understand it because I literally have a video. I met one of one of the Power Rangers actors, Tommy the Green Ranger, one of the most
Yeah.
famous ever. I met him, got print signed by him. I did a video where I said, "Hey, if you want a free Power Rangers print signed by the actor and my art, share, do all this stuff." Like nobody watched it, nobody shared it.
Yeah, but they didn't know. They probably didn't know.
Oh, I tagged it Power Rangers and everything.
No, I meant about the free thing and the sign thing.
Right.
Unless they go and watched it, they wouldn't have known that, right?
The thumbnail said something like "win a free Power Rangers print" or something like it.
Then I guess you think,
and the thing is, I'm not complaining because whatever, it didn't work out. But it's weird to me that the other video, which is just a shaky handheld video of a TV, did amazing. But the chance to win something free signed by the actor, like, nah, we don't care.
Well, maybe it is because that fact about it, or maybe, I don't know. It's hard to tell why things hit and why they don't. And,
I just look at like, why do I go?
Right.
And I know that different people like different things. Of course, I'm not going to go watch, how to change your radiator, something like that. It interests me. But I can see why people would go.
Right.
Because they need to know that information. And it's not just about the information, but it's about what are people getting out of your video. They're getting something.
Agreed.
Whether it's a community, whether it's, something that makes you feel good, makes you happy, you just like the person. There's lots of reasons. I'm not saying it's just one reason, but there's always, there's always some kind of, and if you can look at any video, whether it's something you would just go pick a random video, like, any video, just something you probably would never watch, and go look at it. And you look at it as a third person, like outside of yourself, and look at it and say, why would somebody watch this? And why would I watch this? And then you kind of just get a feel. It's just not, to me, and maybe it's just me, it just doesn't seem that hard to figure out why people like certain videos. Just go watch one of them. Watch one of those. It could be a horrible thing. It could be, a cat, I don't know. I don't go watch
saying hey
bad one. Well, yeah, but it could be, whether it's positive or negative. I mean, because I see people that have huge followings that are just like the most like Debbie Downers. It's like, why do people go? But there's people that empathize. It's somebody that, so there's always a reason. If you just watch it as a video, like, and kind of think, who's watches, why would I don't know. It's just not.
I know you're right, but it's not always a one-to-one comparison, because like I said,
but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you should do either. Like I said, there's a million views on a Debbie Downer. That doesn't mean you should be a Debbie Downer. You know what I mean? No,
absolutely.
You can understand why.
Yes, but that's also like the reason I did the giveaway was to like hopefully attract some people, and that was my second giveaway, and they both failed miserably. And I think, Peter, you had a giveaway that didn't go so well either, right?
I have giveaways all the time.
Free art giveaway.
Do they go well for you, Dee?
They don't. They're not as viewed as. I think a part of the thing is on the giveaways, it could be that they're not catching it at the right time. In other words, like I don't have long time periods because it's too much. So like when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I had a giveaway for a nice big like $200 box of pencil things. Well, you wouldn't probably know what it is if you don't use them. But anyway,
what is it? I'm curious now.
What the
pencils?
Yeah. Well, hang on.
I'm assuming they're not just Prismacolors.
I gave away some of these. They're called Neocolor 2s, and they're water-soluble crayons. And they're like, it's like watercolor in a crayon. Anyway, and so I did it. Neat. No, wait. That wasn't the giveaway. I gave away a set of Prismacolor pencils. No, I mean, I'm trying to remember which giveaway it was,
Well, Prismacolor, I do know. Those are the only color pencils I ever use.
I gave away a set of Prismacolor. I gave away a set of Prismacolor pencils. and which was like 150 pencils, Prismacolor. You know, they're the same ones I use all the time.
Yeah, they're great.
Anyway, it's been a couple months, so I forgot what the giveaway. See, I forgot what my giveaway was. But what I was going to say is I only ran it for like a week and a half, and because the longer you go, it's like overwhelming to try to do a drawing that's fair, you know, because I think I had like 450 to 500 people comment, and all you had to do was leave a comment on my blog. And the reason I had them go to my blog, not to get them to my blog, because there's really not a lot on my blog, but because it's more manageable. It's more manageable, and I've been told by other people that do large giveaways that it's more manageable if you send them to your blog, so you can weed out the spam, the duplicate comments, and different things. Whereas when it's on YouTube, it's harder to do that, right?
Right,
and
but
so
then you miss out on the YouTube traffic too, though, because if you got a bunch of
comments.
comments.
They had to go to my YouTube. They go to my YouTube, and let's see, how did I have it? I had it so that they. I don't know. I don't remember now, Dad. It's been a couple months.
That's
but
fine.
My point is that it was a short time. So I think that the 500 people that commented on my 10,000 sub, giveaway, it wasn't. Not everybody goes to my show every week. My channel every week. So they might have just missed it. They missed that week, and so.
That makes sense too, because both of them I ran for only a week as well, for the same reason.
So I think that sometimes on giveaways, and I would like to run them longer, but like I printed it all out, so I made sure I didn't miss anybody, did a random.org. I did scratch out the duplicates, because people go, it's like you could see it was like a repeat comment 3 times. They just, I guess, figured it didn't click, and so they did it again and again. So you got to kind of get those out, spammers that just go in there to, promote, something they're selling or whatever, so I got rid of all the spam and all that, and it still printed out 50 pages of names. So, and then I did a random.org, and it turned out it was like number 20 something. So it was like on second page, But I wanted it, I try to make it as fair as possible, because on my Ustream channel, on my Ustream that I do twice a week, that I've done for 6 years,
well done.
Yeah. So on that, I can give away things weekly, because there's only like 100 people in my chat at a time. So I can do a random.org. I got 5 or 6 mods there, and we just, put in a number, and the closest without going over to the number I do on random.org gets something. And I love doing giveaways, and I wish I could do more on YouTube as far as giveaways, but it's just tricky. It's tricky to do it on a YouTube channel.
Well, anything you do on a consistent basis, sort of more people will remember that and go back. That's
true. You have a key word right there, Peter, is consistency. Yeah. I think that one of the reasons that channels that I've watched over the years grow, because I've only been putting my live shows from Ustream on YouTube for 2 years. I've streamed for 6. But and I've streamed every week for 6 years, like twice, 2-3 times a week. I stream a lot. But my shows, my YouTube channel, all it is my uploads of my live show. There's no editing, there's no cutting, there's no speeding, it's just exactly what it is on my show that I upload to YouTube. I don't do short videos. And not that, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with any videos. I love every kind. But my show is not edited, it's not speeded up, it is what it is, And, but what I was going to say, Peter, is you use the word consistency. And I think that has so much to do with a channel really being, I don't know if you want to call it popular, but where well watched, is consistency, because people can count on you to be there. They're going to count on you to be doing it every week, 2, however long you say, or you do it. And then, but if you go away for a long time, or you don't even tell anybody, you never interact with the comments, and I understand big channels can't do that. But I always at least hit the like button on every comment that someone leaves me, or say something to them, because that really, if people come to your channel, they like you, they will enjoy, even if you're just teaching them something or demoing or just doing a vlog. People like to know that you acknowledge them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not only, I mean, I have a much smaller channel, obviously, and I'm able to do that easily, but I do comment sometimes on a big channel where I don't even expect a
Right.
comment.
Me too.
And every now and
Yeah,
then
me
you
too.
get one, and if it's just like, hey, thanks, that's great. And every now and then it'll be like, you know, hey, I thought the same thing, or it'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, if you like that, here's a link, and it'll be like a real comment, and I'm like,
Right,
wow, that
right.
was, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And so that matters, that
yeah,
matters to people. And if you really want to build your channel, those little things like that, it's just like doing to others, if
sure.
it's really not that hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
All right, so
anyways,
when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'll do my next giveaway.
That's
well, I want to be there when you do, Gaz, because I love your channel. I do. It's just, it just needs to get, I don't know, it just wishes out there more because it's your vlog, and I understand that a lot of people go to certain channels for that specific kind of art. Like, I don't do comics, but I watch yours because of the art factor. And, and I'm sure there's other artists out there that watch artists that don't do what they do for that
Sure.
reason. But again, there's probably more out there that only want to see comics. They don't care about, Star Commander, or what I mean.
Yeah, no, you're
And
probably right.
so
And I've thought about that, like, oh, should I change it? But like, if I change it, I'm not gonna be true to what I wanted. Like,
it's not you. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm not trying to be a YouTube celebrity. I mean, if it happens, great. But I'm just trying to make my art and talk about it. So if I change it too much, I'm just not gonna want to do it.
Yeah. Oh no, you
Yeah.
got it. And that's, people always say, well, what should you do? You have to do what you love. If you're
Yeah.
not doing what you love, you're not going to be consistent, and you're not going to stick with it.
Right.
You're
And
not going to stick with anything you don't absolutely love. There's no way, if I didn't like streaming, that I'd be doing it for 6 years, 6 to 10 hours a week, if I didn't love it.
right. And also,
I love the
anybody that doesn't care about Star Commander, I don't need their business anyway.
So true, so true.
absolutely.
Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head out. I've really enjoyed it, Peter. I'm glad I finally got to come on,
Yeah.
on a time that I was able to do so. And
I'm glad.
of course, I always, I'm a big Gas fan, so
I was just
You
gonna
always-
watch, to be honest, but then when I saw Dee Dee was on, I was like, you know what? I've never really had a good chat with her online, so I'm gonna.
yeah, it was fun. Thanks, and thanks, Peter, for hosting it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
my pleasure. This is, it's always more fun the more people I can get in here, and Dee Dee, you're always fun, and you as well, Gaz, and
Hey.
and thanks to everybody else that joined, even Mike, who his phone, he's got to upgrade.
Yeah, so we got the chipmunk.
Well, that was Greg. Greg had another problem situation going on, but he's been on here enough.
Well, thanks, Peter. And I hope to come back and on another one some other time, because I enjoyed it. Enjoyed talking to you, and I hope things are going to work out for you at the cat sanctuary, because
Yeah, I'm sure they will. It's like my feelings are like on the surface of my skin,
Well, yeah, it's just soon.
Of course.
going back and forth, and whatever. But I'm sure it will work out. They're really nice people in there. Essentially, giving me full reign in anything I want to do with them. And I want to make note to thank the people in the live chat. I'm going to copy that and put it as a comment.
My friend Carrie, she goes, "Why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you talking to me?" It's like, because I couldn't see the chat. I'm not. I don't have the. I have to toggle the windows, and so I just kind of.
Not only I'm worse than you, because I just realized that my wife was in there talking.
Yeah, Q's in there, Scott's in there.
Oh yeah, Q is saying, "Hey, Dee Dee, I've been using the Deadpool." Yeah, they're talking to us.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I figured I had to, give you a little, I was hoping Gaz would give it to you, but yeah, he did.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of choice involved there.
Well, it's good to talk to you guys, and we'll see you around the set.
Sounds good.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Are we done too, Peter? Then, or
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Okay.
like if you see anything they're talking about that you wanted to comment on.
I Yeah, like I said, I didn't really look. Later, guys. Bye. Yeah, everyone's saying goodbye now.
Yeah.
Scott's there. They're talking to each other at this blah blah blah. Creates. Yeah, I don't see any like standout. Like here's a question or anything like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this has been a really fun one, and thank
Yeah, man.
you again,
Hey, thanks for
Eric.
hosting.
Eric as well. My pleasure. I'm doing one tomorrow night. I don't know. I'm thinking of not inviting people and maybe doing something a little different. I really need to improve my setup. So, if I get time, going to the farm tomorrow, so I'll be at least talking about my experience. Sort of going there for the first time, knowing that I'm going to live there will be a new
Right.
experience.
See it with different eyes.
Yeah. And yeah, just it's a little crazy times, but I need to get back into working, and I need to clean up the studio as well.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you're doing a good job. It seems like you're doing a good job pushing forward and keeping moving, which is good.
Yeah. I did have one question. I'm not sure if it's movie related or comic related, but I think it might be movie related. There's a new Power Ranger,
right?
Who's mostly white but has some gold. He might be a new movie character for the movie.
I mean, there have been white Power Rangers before. In the current season that's on, they don't have a White Ranger. In the movie, I haven't seen a White Ranger. I did see one thing going around that I think was fan art. It was called like the First Ranger, and I think he was white. But it was like somebody was like, if Zordon was a Ranger back in his younger days, this is like his Ranger form. Maybe that's what you're talking about. I mean, or maybe you've seen something I haven't.
Well, I did a quick search, and I think this is him. Let's see.
All right.
It sort of looks like he's mostly white. I'm not seeing the picture I saw, so I'm not sure. Yeah, it kind of looks like the guy from the TV series, I guess. So it's not really new.
I mean, the original White Ranger had like a black kind of vest with a gold circle.
Yeah,
that's the original White
that's
Ranger.
What I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It's slightly different, from a little more elaborate.
I mean, there was a movie version too that looked a little bit more like armor, and then there was there's a company called Bat in the Sun that does a lot of superhero beatdown videos, and one of them had the White Ranger that had a slightly different outfit. It might be that one. Yeah. If you put it up on the screen or show it to me, I could maybe tell you, but it might just be fan art too,
Yeah, and that, I think I saw it on Facebook, and I'm not seeing it now. But I do see the, just to share.
Okay, here we go.
I could do that.
This is where we lose everybody.
Yeah, this is what the hell are you talking about?
This is Studio Synergy After Hours, where we discuss pictures of Power Rangers.
That's the one you're talking about.
Hasn't come up yet. I'm just seeing you frozen.
Oh, it should be sharing.
Oh wait, here it goes. Okay, yeah, these are all pictures of the original White Ranger. Either from the one on the left there was Bat in the Sun. Yeah. The movie one looks more armored. The TV one is more spandex, and then Bat in the Sun is like a little bit more. See that one where he's kicking Scorpion? You just scroll past it. Yeah, but this.
Oh wait, this one.
Yeah, maybe. On the left there, he's kicking Scorpion. Like that's Bat in the Sun. So that's kind of a more elaborate version of the same character done for that special video.
Yeah.
But those are the three like official versions so far: the movie, the Bat in the Sun, and the TV. So anything else either is so new I haven't heard of it, or just fan art.
Yeah.
Or fan cosplay. I've seen people do like Green Ranger mixed with White Ranger and make a suit that looks like it could have been on TV, but it's just cosplay.
Cool.
But I'm glad you came to me with this. You were right to ask me.
You are the Ranger Sensei.
All right.
Cool.
Well, let's end on me being the Ranger Sensei.
I hear laughter.
Yeah, that's cute.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for all my guests tonight. Thanks for all watching. Definitely had a lot more people watching today. Maybe I should, I'm doing this regularly twice a week. Maybe I should day like this because, maybe it's because I did it as a Facebook event, and some people seem to like that, me setting it up like where I can post a link in there.
It made it easier, but I don't know. I was planning on just watching. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing that I decided to join in. But it might help with the viewership. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I don't want to do it twice weekly, like events twice a week. Once in a while is not bad.
I think it's okay if you don't make up your mind about the future right now.
No, I must decide. I'm OCD. What gotta figure out everything, every last detail. But yeah, it's okay to be imperfect, like today's title.
Agreed.
Kind of. All right, here we go.
Good night, sweet prince.
Long, everybody. Peace.